Hey, but we are, we're at the end of Q2. This is the last day of trading for Q2. We have a holiday coming up, half a day on Monday, Tuesday completely out. So today, I wouldn't be surprised if you have a lot of people that are leaving early today or aren't going to be here at all. The only thing that I believe brought some people into the market today, were the economic news, or was the economic news that was dropped. But, other than that, I don't think anybody's. I think we're going to deal with lighter volume than what we normally see, which could cause some, scary volatility. Kind of like what we saw last night in Nike. That was some scary volatility. And, people were just torn on that. And that's why I did not leave our position short overnight. We made a lot of money on the move. Like we got faked out, but then when we flipped it, we made that back plus more. And then a couple of dollars, having just to kill the trade because we didn't get the rest of the sell-off that we were looking for. And honestly, you could see why. It hit the linear regression channel, and that's what it bounced off of. Now we're hitting this one. I wouldn't be surprised if we get rejected here coming into the open. So definitely Nike's going to be on my watch. We're going to look at the chart in a minute. Let's see. Let's answer this question before we get too deep into it. Ed, on one of the slides you wrote, you must identify if you have the mentality to be a day trader. Now, if I don't, is it something that I can develop? Absolutely. And that's a trick question that I put there. Because remember, throughout the presentation, I said several times that we do not, most of us, 99% of us, do not have the right mindset or the mentality to be a trader. Because how many of us can accept loss as, something being normal? That's one question you can ask yourself. If you can accept loss as being something normal, that's part of, something that you can't avoid completely, then you don't have the right mentality. But you can develop it. You have to put in the work. It's not something like I can't teach you. I can teach you what you need to do and tell you what you need to do and how you should approach things, but everything has to come from inside you. You have to be willing to make that change. Your dream in trading has to be bigger than the nightmares that you're going to go through. How can you accept loss and not let it affect the next trade? That's what this trader mindset program is about. That's what it's about. That's what we're going to be focusing on, is teaching you how to, what you can do, the exercises you can do. And like I said, it's going to be over the course of 3 months. Like yesterday, I just basically, drop the framework and say, hey, look, you this is what the deal is. You got to be willing to accept these things if you're going to move forward. And throughout the next several months, these are the things that we're going to work on, because everybody that has problems in trading is centered around this. It's centered around not being able to accept loss, not always searching for something that's going to give us perfect trades where we do not lose money on any trade. It's something that's in the back of our minds. Some of us recognize it, some of us don't. Some of us, it's just subconscious. Me being a teacher in the beginning, I thought, hey, I'm smart enough. I'm an engineer. I'm a teacher. I can analyze this thing. And just like everything else, all the problems that I've solved through all my projects and everything, I can make it simple with few moving parts, and I can make a perfect trading strategy where I won't lose, on any trade. I honestly thought that. But when I realized it, all you could do is come up with a process that's simple, straightforward, with as few moving parts, that will make it consistent. But what I'm doing is I'm applying my consistency to an inconsistent environment. And that's going to give me inconsistent results. But if I continue to do what I'm supposed to do every day and not worry about the individual outcome of each trade, but I'm looking at this over a series of trades, then I'm not going to worry about whether this trade won or this trade lost. I'm going to be worried about how did my process perform over a series of trades. So at the end of the week, am I going to be positive? Or at the end of the month, am I going to be positive? So I'm curious about this week because of how it started Monday and Tuesday. I'm curious of how I'm going to come out this week. I think that today may be the determining factor whether I'm positive or not. But because I stuck to my process and didn't change anything, I was able to, trade out of the situations I put myself in at the beginning of the month. I know that's a long answer, but it's a process. And I'm going to give you all the guidance I can to help you go through that, because the work you're going to have to do is going to be in the dark. That mental work. And unfortunately, I'm not going to hold your hand in the dark. I don't roll that way. Not to say I have anything against people that do. I just don't. I choose not to. Yeah, but see, you admitting that is the first and the most important step to working on your issues, because most people don't believe it. Most people don't think it's mental. They think there's nothing wrong with my head. All I need to do is find the right strategy. or find the right indicator to let me know when this trade is happening. Why do you think there's so many people out there trying to sell systems that tell you you don't have to put a whole lot of energy in this? You just follow the alerts. But here's the issue. If you don't have the right mindset, even following alerts aren't going to work for you. That's what's crazy. Following the alerts aren't going to work for you if you don't have the right mindset. Just like, there are people that come in and try and want to follow me in trades and follow me out. They end up bailing out before the trade even works. And, then they get mad. And they even get mad at me. But the reality is, again, if you don't have the right mindset, you can't even follow somebody in trades. All right, but I'm getting too deep into it. Obviously, this is my most favorite subject and what I feel is the most important. But let's take a look at the market here. I'm not going to even get specific into the numbers that came out, the specific economic reports. It doesn't really matter. All we need to look at is how is the market reacting to it. Because we're trading the market. We're not trading the specific news. I think if we get too deep into, and this is something you all have to really work on, is you can't get too deep into the news. That's why I don't read or listen to too much into or listen to the conference calls when stocks are reporting earnings. I don't care what they say, and I don't want what they say to influence my decisions. The only thing I want to influence my decision is what I see on the chart. So to me, that's the most important thing versus knowing why something did what it did. All you're doing is guessing, and assuming that that's what happened. There's no way you can tell for sure. So my focus is looking at what the chart is telling me, and whether I have a trade there or not. That's what it boils down to. So, like I said, let's look at Nike first. Nike, we traded it last night. We did pretty good on it. As a matter of fact, I'll bring it up. I'll show you what happened on the first try and then what we did. I actually flipped it earlier than I was going to because I had a double clutch. You know what double clutches do. Well, I don't know how I can do it like this. How about this? All right, so here's Nike yesterday. Look, I made a mistake, but it did actually trigger over the 2-minute candle. So it did actually trigger. It just didn't go up like we were looking for. It didn't hit the first target. And so as it came back down, we ended up, flipping it short. I was going to wait and get in. Once this closed and this candle printed and took out the low, that's when I was going to get short. But I was going to get short, no doubt about that. But what happened when I clicked the hotkey to get out, it double clicked it. I think I need to change the battery in this mouse, but it double clicked it and got me in a little bit earlier, which is fine. Ended up nailing some profit targets down here. Took it all off by mistake, of course, and got back in once we got under the 20. This is the 20-day moving average. I got in, it bounced, it recovered, which, you know, I figured it was going to do this at some point, and it rejected. And so we came all the way back down, still didn't get to my 107 target, and it bounced, rejected again, but I was not going to hold this short. I do not hold stocks short overnight. The only earning stocks I hold overnight are longs. And a good thing I didn't, because if you look at Nike here, here from when it opened, it didn't do anything but go back up. So I'm keeping my eye on Nike today. It could take off and make a run. I mean, there's a good chance that, you know, it can do that. It can recover. You could have probably had a lot of dip buyers down here. So keeping my eye on it. I do not want to take this until we get over yesterday's close. I know there's about $2 or something inside there, but that's not what I want. I don't want to deal with that. I want clean trades. These are the trades that give you less stress. And if you're working on your mindset, you want trades that give you the least amount of stress. And clean trades, you know, trading stocks in clean windows typically give you less stress. So I am putting Nike on watch. Also, the scan. I forgot about the scan. Here's the scan from last night. The only new one on there is MA. Everything else is the same. We know PANW, WDAY, LLY, they're not tradable. The way they trade right now, they're not tradable. You want to keep an eye on them for a breakout, a 52-week high breakout, then that'll give us a good day trade. But in terms of anything else, you know, it's just there to where I can glance at it because I know it's on the verge of doing something. META is definitely going to make our watch. MasterCard, it does have a $6 ATR. Does have a $6 ATR, but it does not trade with enough volume intraday to where it gives us a safe trade. Now, if we start to build like we did yesterday, and we're looking to take out the 52-week high up here, then, you know, that's something different. But I'm not going to put it on watch, even though it is on the scan. Me vetting it and looking at it last night, I don't like the way this thing trades. Albeit yesterday was a solid day, it only did it within the first 30 minutes of pre-market, and then after that didn't really do much. So not really looking at it. Now META was on our watch. I mean, was the only one of our fugly 5 that is on the scan, and it's been that way. You could see for the last 2 weeks. Look at how we've been consolidating here. No, all we need is a big push. Is the economic news today gonna blow this off the top and we make a run to 300? It's possible. Guess what? My eye is on it. Over 285, me and Meta are gonna play. We're gonna dance. So that's my main watch today. But you could look at Tesla. This kind of set up nicely for an aggressive entry at the open if it stayed there. It made a nice little flag right here. But it's working pre-market. So the move I was looking at potentially, this is kind of the aggressive entry trigger that I'd be looking for on Tesla. But it's already made the move 15, 20 minutes before the market opens. So Tesla's still on watch, but I would look for a pullback first before I could engage it. NVIDIA is the same way. Look at NVIDIA. Similar setup. Not identical, but similar look. And here we're trying to break the pre-market high. So again, I can't really deal with this. Netflix is not looking pretty today. But Microsoft is. Same look. So we're getting the same look out of all the stocks on our watch list. The only one that's really broke is Tesla. And look at NKE. So again, this has work to do before I'm interested in it. So again, guys, remember this is I'm gonna call it a Friday before a holiday, and a major holiday, and this is the last trading day of the quarter. Now maybe some fund managers need to buy specific stocks to fill out their fund. We may see some some big buying across the board. I doubt if we'll see a lot of selling. But that's just my opinion. Which, in the grand scheme of things, don't mean a damn thing. All what matters is what we see on the board. All right, I'm coming. All right, so we're gonna look at our Fugly 5. Add Nike to the mix. Now, earnings from this morning. I gotta run. I gotta go see my wife off. But earnings from this morning. I think it's STZ. I think. Let me see. Yeah, STZ. That's earnings from this morning, and that's the last piece that we're gonna kind of look at here. You could see where we're at. Um, 237.82. We've got plenty of room to the downside. So we're gonna watch STZ. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta go see my wife off. All right, party people. I'm back. You know, if you don't see the wife off, you're going to have a bad day. So I got to see my wife off every day. Stars, are you looking at the earnings scan? Yeah, it's the only one that came up on my scan. I'll show you. It's the only one that came up on the earnings scan. So check and see if you've got the same. It's only 4 screens that I have. You can see if you've got the come on, baby, get stop it. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't show up on yours. So we got about right at 5 minutes left before the bell. Everything quiet. Everything's quiet. Let's talking about some levels. You know, Microsoft is good. It's over the 338 50 rejection point. It did make a move up to 339, but I think it does have some room to go if it can get going. NVDA, we're going to keep a close eye on again. Tesla and META. The other thing you got to remember, we are in a lull. We're in a lull. We're in the summertime, which is not as slow as it used to be. But we are in summertime trading. We are, you know, I always look at the 4th of July week as the slowest week of the year. You know, even slower than Christmas week. The week of Christmas or between Christmas and New Year's. But that's just my feel. I don't have any data to back that up. It's just the way I feel. But this last week or two, this week, next week, and the week after, leading up into earnings, is gonna be pretty slow. You're gonna have to be a little more patient than normal. You're gonna see a lot of fake outs, so you're gonna want to make sure you wait for confirmation. waiting for confirmation on some of these moves are going to be good. I'm not going to be aggressive today. Even though I can be aggressive buying over 285 on Meta. That might be the only move I would look at. Buying over 285 on Meta. $289.79 is kind of the highest. See, 289.79, 52-week high. I'm not sure on NVIDIA. Meta would be my choice. NVIDIA is still good too. But if I had a choice between a $200 stock and a $400 stock, I'm going to choose 200. But then look at where Meta is on the chart. It does have some room, but it's not as clean. But it is good. All right, we're doing the aggressive entry here. If it fails, we're gonna bail. It's not going anywhere. I might have to bail. We seem to be stuck. This was the only trade I was going to do an aggressive entry on. Because I like the chart. The chart was so clean. I mean, a clean move up to 290. It's just beautiful. See, this is not the move that, it's not moving like we would like to see an aggressive entry move. When we get in on an aggressive entry, we like to see this thing take off and run. And it's not happening. So it's not giving me the move I wanted it to give me. It is holding itself up. The market is, after the little pullback, the market's running. The market's running up. So maybe we get something out of this. It was a clean chart. It was a clean chart, and we had, you know, pretty much smooth sailing to the 52-week high. So I was looking for an aggressive run up toward the 52-week high at the open. I wasn't comfortable with an aggressive entry on anything else but META. But the market looks like it's really funny today. It's a fuddy-duddy market. So the opening looks like that. Yeah, META was on that scan. META was the only one of our fugly 5, you know, on that new scan. But like anything else, that doesn't mean it's gonna work. And you can see this is on deck to close below the pre-market low, which is really, really bad. Now this has 30 seconds to push its way up and close back over the pre-market low. The pre-market high. But if it can't, it is struggling. Let's see. We've got NVIDIA on deck. If it breaks out, it's breaking into its linear regression channel. Let's see if we can get some volatility here. There we go. We got the break. So 418.50 is my first target. And don't tell me we're not going to get follow through on this stuff. Don't tell me we're not going to get follow through on this. Jeez. This market is opening up like a holiday weekend. Friday, it's definitely doing that. We're not getting any follow through to the long side. None. But as long as these trades are technically in play, I got to give it a chance. You know, we're traders. We've got to give our trades a chance. So as long as they're technically in play, they're going to get a chance from me. I hate going long because it's always harder for stocks to go up than to go down. It's always been that way. NKE, NKE is still inside. It's inside its opening range. You see, it put in the high. It couldn't close the deal going over the 200, and then, you know, it can't close the deal losing the support. Come on, NVIDIA. Damn. I don't like this, but I'm going to have to take profit at 418 if it gets there. I don't like it. But looking at the price action, I might have to do it. Okay, looks like we're gonna move. We're gonna make a run. Come on, 418.50. 418.50. Come on, 418.50, baby. You got it. You got it, NVIDIA. You got it. 287. I'm gonna have to do this too. God damn it, Meta. Come on, NVIDIA. Really? 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 418.50, guys. Let's go. There we go. Nice. Nice. Let me put my stop in, because the way this damn thing's trading today, it may come all the way back in one swoop. We're going to put our stop at 417.25. Our next target is 420. No, let me see, what's that? 420. Oh, it's at 421 now. So let's do 420. I'm still gonna do 420. We'll leave that on autopilot. Meta needs some support over here. We're stuck at 286. And all I need is 286.25. 286.25 on Meta is all I need right now. But there's a wall at 286. We're gonna have to work our way through 286 to keep going here. Frustrated with Meta. At least there's a daily level at 287.50. And I don't understand why we can't get there. Meta was the cleanest looking move this morning, but it sure as hell failing. Okay, 286.54 is a Bollinger Band right here. So, 286.25 is 100% doable. It's 100% doable. Looking for a 420 next target on NVIDIA here. We're getting close. Come on, let that whole dollar suck this price action on up in there. Suck it up. There we go. There we go. That's a nice little boy. That's a nice little boy. Alright, so NVIDIA, we got 50 shares left. My final target on NVIDIA right now is going to be the 10-day moving average, which is around 421. So I'm going to do 421.15. And it'll be a range order. And 418 will be my profit stop. I'm telling you, Meta is major disappointment today. I can't even I can't get it through 286. If I can get a nice pop I can get 286.25, which is not really what I wanted, but we're just stuck here. Yeah, you can look for a reversal on NVIDIA at the linear regression channel. Yeah. Oops, hold on. Yep, you can definitely look at a reversal here. But this thing is gone. Got my final target. Here's a linear regression channel. So we could definitely look at a reversal here if it slows down. 420.80. 420.80 is a linear regression channel. But you got to let it confirm now. Don't anticipate. You got to let it tell you that it's reversing. Come on, I just need 286.25. If I just get a base hit on this, I'll be okay with this. Now, you guys see, META was the cleanest chart. Cleanest chart up to the 52-week high. But it's giving me the most problems. It's running to 286 and it won't go anywhere. It's giving me the most problems. The cleanest trade, the cleanest chart. This is what I mean. Trading is unpredictable. You can have the most beautiful setup to go with your most perfect strategy. But guess what? That doesn't translate into winning trades. So if my expectations were off, if I sat here and I had unrealistic expectations, you know, what would happen here? All right, so we're looking at this. You don't want to short into the linear regression channel. You want to short on the other side of it. And remember, all right, it jumped back up as soon as I clicked the button. You wanted to short on the inside of it. So my first target's 419.75. And remember, the final target on this is always the VWAP. And right now, the VWAP and the 9's right there together. So I let it fool me a little bit. Finally, META. Finally, META. Let's see. Stop on META. 285.35. Profit stop on META. Alright, again, On NVIDIA, the linear regression channel, it doesn't have to stop here. It does not have to stop here and pull back. So if it doesn't and it wants to take off, I don't have a problem bailing out and waiting for it to set up again. You know, I don't have that problem. Alright, I got META set up. You can see those are my orders, 287.50 and then 290 on META. And then NVIDIA, my target's 419.75 on the reversal. But man, they're holding NVIDIA up. It should be selling off hard right now. Get through 420. I think META is running into linear regression channel 2. Yeah. META is at 287.18. My next target is 287.50, which is that daily level. There you go. We got the daily level. So 290. Now we're going to put META on autopilot here. We're going to put META on a range order. Where our final target is 290. And then our stop is 286.25. Alright, so now META is on autopilot. Let's go back to NVIDIA and kind of focus on it. Now, how do I know this trade is dead? If we bounce and we get a candle to close back above the linear regression channel, and then the next candle makes a higher high, we've confirmed taking out my technical level, which means my trade plan is dead. So right now we're working on 420, the whole dollar mark. I'm not sure how strong this is going to be. We just have to wait and see. Bingo, first target hit. Um, 418. Gonna put the next target in 418.25, and gotta put the stop in on NVIDIA here. 420.75 is the break-even stop on NVIDIA. Yes, only if you took it. You can get credit for calling it out, but only if you took it. Oh man, look at this thing. All right. Hold on. I got NVIDIA messed up here. Hold on. Oh, I didn't mean to take. I gotta put Meta back. Meta's range order back on. I don't know what I did with NVIDIA. I gotta figure out. I think I messed up NVIDIA real quick. But I'll get it fixed. No te preocupes. I'll get it fixed. Then you get credit for your NVIDIA short. $290. What the hell is going on with NVIDIA? I did something wrong. Oh, I know exactly what I did. I know exactly what I did. Instead of putting a buy stop, I put a sell stop and actually added to my position. That's what happened. This is what can happen when you're dealing with two stocks at the same time. And this is definitely a mistake on my part. So again, what's going to take me out this trade? I've already taken profit. I'm already beyond break even. So I kind of messed this up. So if we make a new high, automatically I'm getting out. Automatically I'm done. So I'm making this trade harder than it should be. To be honest with you, I'm making this trade harder than it should be. Yep, Tesla's on the run. I can't. I want to jump in Tesla, and if I hadn't got tied up on NVIDIA, I would be jumping in Tesla right now. You could bet your sweet tail I would have been in Tesla right off of this. Guys, you see, just being patient and waiting for our setups is all we need to do. That's all. And how do we stay patient and stay focused? Trader mindset, baby. Trader mindset. And you are, and all of you guys have the ability to learn that. You see, I'm demonstrating it. You know how I told you yesterday how hard it is for somebody to put together a puzzle that they don't have a picture of what they're putting together. This me trading here gives you a picture of how you can put your trading house together, your mindset, how you approach trade. Do I get pissed off sometimes? Yeah. But I don't let it affect my judgment. And when I start to feel that, I tell you guys I got to go. I got to take a break. I'm sorry. You know, I've actually had people get mad at me for walking away because they didn't get the message. All right, so NVIDIA $421.85 is the stop. Thank you, sir. Can we get under 418? So let's see if we can get under 4. We get to 419.50. We might can do something here. Well, actually, I think I got the thing off. What's the price? Ooh, that's all the way to 419.08. So let's see if we can get under 420. Make a run down to 419.25ish, which is going to be around the 9. See if we can get a pullback to the 9. But we got to get under 420. And we know when we get to these whole dollar marks, expect fights. We get to the half dollar marks, expect fights. Even when we get to the quarter dollar marks, expect fights. If you expect it, then it's not going to mess with your head because you know what's coming. But if we get in and we expect our trade to go our way the minute we get in it, if we have that expectation, that's an unrealistic expectation. And when we get that, when we start dealing with unrealistic expectations, things get bad. It turns out bad for us. Look, the 9 moving average has moved all the way up. In the last 3 minutes, it's moved up from 419.09 to 419.39. That's bad. So we know where our line in the sand is. We know where our line in the sand is, right there. So that 429.25 is not going to work. I got to move it back to 50. 419.50. All because the 9 moving average is going up. So remember what I was telling you. A lot of people would have bailed out of this already. And it may turn out to be the right move, but wrong execution. Because you don't bail out of trades until the technicals tell you your trade is dead. As long as your trade has an opportunity to work, and it hasn't, taken out the technicals and all of that, trust the technicals. Because what happens when a stock starts struggling and it starts not working and not really going your way, when you start dealing with all of that, it messes with your psyche. It messes with your head, and it can trigger some subconscious things that can cause you to make bad decisions. So if you don't worry about all of that and just trust the technicals on your chart, trust that the chart's going to tell you your trade is dead when it's dead, then don't worry about it. No sweat. Now, another question I got was, Ed, when it came back to break even, why didn't you take it off? Well, the trade is working. This is a working trade. It still has the potential to sell. So why take off a potentially profitable trade? You know what I mean? This is the mindset you gotta have. See, what other people teach you is a sucker's mindset. That means you become the person that I'm gonna take money from in the market. You can't have a sucker's mindset in trading. You can't. You gotta be strong. You've got to be strong. And if you have to take a hit, take a hit. Pick up the pieces and let's get going again. Oops, sorry about that. Sorry. Y'all know what I'm talking about. See, we hadn't even touched the 9. It's not even allowing it to touch the 9. 420 has this thing. It has it on SmackDown. It has this thing on SmackDown, man. Oh yeah 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 hi yeah 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 hi yeah 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 hi yeah yeah yeah. All right, we are done. We are done. Put a fork in us. We are done. So the only position we got on left is this. And honestly, this doesn't convince me to add for the last move. Look at this, is getting stuck here. It's getting stuck there. right, so if we can get some confirmation. This is not DOS. This is TD Ameritrade. See this? TD Ameritrade. This is a 5-day, 60-minute chart. Now, if you try to run this in DOS, it's not going to be the same. DOS just doesn't have it. I don't know why. It just doesn't have it. I know back in the day when I used to use the deviation, the VWAP deviation band, I had issues with that. All right, I'm waiting on this candle to close. See if we get some confirmation. All right, same to you. You calling it quits for the day? All right, so we got the trigger. Let's see if we can make the money. Are we gonna make the money? It's probably gonna pull back. It's probably gonna pull back. Just gotta be patient and let it do its thing. I don't want to add to Meta. I'm just gonna let Meta trade work itself out. I'm not adding to it. If we can get the 290 by the end of the day, we're good. But looking for NVIDIA to spring forward. Looking for it to spring forward. See if we can make some more money on this deal. I mean, we've got a really good day going. I had a little miscue right here, but that no harm, no foul. It basically just ate up the profit I made on the first move down. The reversal didn't follow through. I got it. It pretty much took out the first. What I got on the first move, I just gave it back. So it's basically more than likely a scratch on that. So now I just have to sit back and wait for this NVIDIA to catch itself. You know, once it makes a new high, you're going to get a pullback. More than likely, you will get a pullback. Now, sometimes it'll keep running until it picks up a bunch of sell orders, a bunch of people taking profit. But now we're working through the high day profit takers, and we should see it continue in a few. If it doesn't, that means, you know, we got to pull back and pick up some more buyers. So right now, I'm going to take a break and just let this work for a minute. No, we come back and see if we can close this morning out.